This is The Extra Point, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast, sponsored by your Phoenix Suns.
Well, there is a lot to talk about in Valley Sports. Welcome to the group chat where we get together as a sports team once a week and talk about the issues, talk about our feelings, talk about our emotions and opinions of all things Valley Sports. Mark McClune, sports producer Matt Hippie, Julia Lopez, Sun Devil and Giant and 49er Joe behind the glass. And then rumor has it that Nick King is joining us from the ballpark tonight. Nick King, can you confirm that location?
I can, and I heard everything Matt Hippie said before.
I guess my reporting didn't quite work out. It didn't quite. Oh,
he's
hold
here,
on.
he's here.
Oh, there he is. Okay, but we can see him. We can see half his face. We cannot hear him.
Can you hear
but
me?
He's smiling. We just can't hear him yet. So maybe we'll do a little audio check behind the glass there and talk about the issues because the Cardinals get a victory. They're 2-0. Are we believers in the Arizona Cardinals?
I mean, I believe they won 2 games. The reaction to yesterday, you would think they lost, though. it seemed pretty close to it. I don't think the Saints and Panthers are really 2 teams that really test where your team is at this point in the year, though.
I was very excited with the way that the game started off with those 2 takeaways that led to 10 points right off the bat. And Zaven Collins with that touchdown, the roll into the end zone. I was so excited just to see them come out so hot on defense. And then fourth quarter came around and it was 2 completely different teams.
That took the foot off the gas, proverbial. I mean, the Kyler interception, a lot of people are saying that he should not be making that decision in year 7. He was trying to make a play. I get it.
It did get tipped too.
Right.
But it's also something that he's done repeatedly throughout his career.
Yeah.
It happens a lot.
Yes. It does. I feel in some ways like we've been watching a lot of the same game for 7 years. There's improvement. I think we have to say going up 27-0, there was a defensive touchdown, but he marched the team down the field. He does what a very serviceable, very good NFL quarterback does, but closing the game is difficult. But aren't all NFL games like 1-score games? Isn't that like the
Pretty
rule?
much.
Yeah. So we should have expected it, right? Except if you're the Packers, you're just going to blow everybody out this year and just hand them the Lombardi.
For now, it's not going to last that way.
Okay, you don't think like Micah Parsons, he'll sit a game, then
they'll lose 2 or 3 inexplicable games, probably starting with Cleveland this weekend.
Oh my gosh, if the Packers lose to Cleveland, I'm going to quit predicting things.
They almost always lose in Cleveland.
Interesting. The old NFL rivalry. Joe, is Nick King there yet, or are you still working on it?
We're going to try him out one more time here.
Okay. Let me know. Give me a thumbs up when we're ready to go. Because we want to get Nick King's hot take from the ballpark there. But Julia, you were at the game yesterday and on Sunday, pardon me. Injuries were the story. How concerned are we right now about the Cardinals secondary?
Extremely concerned. Max
Yeah.
Melton going down first, and then LJ Collier with a knee as well. And the biggest one is
secondary.
Garrett Williams going down with a knee injury and like not having any, like he wasn't able to put any pressure on his leg, and he obviously has hurt his knee back at Syracuse.
Yeah.
So this could be a reoccurring injury, and it's not looking good.
So if you're scoring at home, that's what. And Will Johnson with the
Groin.
Is it groin? Okay, so that's your top 5 cover guys that are out.
They were. I mean, their top 3 going into yesterday was already like their 3rd, 4th, and 5th corners.
Right.
And now you lose those 3. That's not a good spot to be in.
So can you get to the playoffs with Keitrell Clark and Denzel Burke as your starting corners? Obviously, Will Johnson, it's a groin, but those things last for a while. Yeah. So I'd be surprised if he plays in San Francisco. This is the NFL. It's next man up, but man, you're going to have to, what do you do? I mean, you're going to have to get home. You're going to have to get more pressure on the passer. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, the Josh Sweats need to come in and do his thing. And I really liked what we saw early on in that game from him. Jordan Birch, want to see more of him as well. And Baron Browning. It was good to see him out there. So making some havoc. So
well, I think what separates the Cardinals is going to defensively, if they can cover people in the corners, is their depth on the defensive line and the just bringing in fresh bodies. You could bring in Calais Campbell for the last play of the game, and he'll be like a bull in a china shop because he doesn't have to play the entire game.
How awesome was that,
Oh my
though?
gosh,
That play
yes.
at the very end.
What was the? It looked like some of the crowd left at the end. I wasn't out there, but was it a moment when Calais made the play like a welcome back moment?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was cool. Like you mentioned, the fans definitely kind of weren't in it near the end of it, but I think on that last drive when the Panthers were really, about to score there,
Right.
they started to really turn it up a couple notches.
All right. Well, speaking of a welcome back moment, let's go out to Nick King, who's at the ballpark on this evening as the Diamondbacks. We'll talk about them in a minute. Nick, can you hear me? Can you see me? And are you a believer in the 2-0 Arizona Cardinals that they are a contender?
I think the better question is, can you hear me?
Nick apparently has the mute button hit again. This is fun. We're gonna hear him at some point. Hold on.
I'm not convinced he's actually here.
I think that's just he's just messing with us. It's like when you go through the drive-through. Like, did you ever do that? In
I've
high
gone
school?
through drive-thrus.
Yeah, and did you ever just do that? And then no,
I would never do that to a
Okay.
drive-through worker.
right, yeah. I think they do it to us.
Just say
back-
their job's
This was in Northwest Houston when there was nothing to do 30 years ago. So you'd do that, or you'd see the drive-through worker out like smoking a cigarette. Like you drive through and there's like someone smoking a cigarette right next to you, right next to the where you order. Did you ever have this? Then you look over and you're like, that person's not even writing down my order. They're smoking. And then they're just going to go in and throw my food together. And then it all smelled like smoke. Did y'all ever have that experience?
Never, no.
Multiple times.
My favorite
No.
thing to do was be behind someone that you know, and as they're talking, you just laying on the horn so they can't hear you at all. And we did that once at like a Crystal's in Crystal Burger in Nashville, and then we made the guy so mad in front of us that, and the drive-through guy, that he came out to like personally take the order. It was pretty funny.
Did you ever have anybody walk through the drive-through? Did anybody ever like try to do that in high school and all of your? Yeah. You just walk through and try to order.
Did they serve you?
No, I think they usually turn
Yeah.
people away.
Yeah, they don't want to encourage that.
Right. Yeah. I never had as much. These are all like story. I mean, I was there for the smoking part. That was pretty funny. All right. So
Speaking of smoking, where's Nick King?
yes.
We have scrapped Nick.
Okay.
we've
Well, that's
ditched
great.
him.
All right. Sorry. We'll try Nick next week.
The
We
king
should
has been killed.
do this every week where Nick cannot get in the show.
The king
That
is
should be the
dead.
bit
Long
where
live
he
the
pops
king.
up and starts talking. Sorry, Nick, we can't hear you again. That's going to be the newest thing. All right. So the NFC West 4-0 on the week, 7-1. You go to San Francisco this week for the Arizona Cardinals. The Niners are super beat up. Let's start with you, Niner Joe. I don't expect anything except a prediction of victory, but are you concerned about the Cardinals coming to town?
There's a little concern, but if their DBs are all banged up, then there's zero concern. They can't get a pass rush, which is good for Mac Jones because he can't avoid pressure. But Mac Jones can throw it all over the field. I think I learned that watching him closely. And we got a little more banged up with Kyle Juszczyk getting hurt. But I like our defense a ton. And I think our defense is going to pressure, and make plays. And they're going to be happy to be home playing on grass. It's 2 away games on turf. And we know it's division game. So go Niners.
All right. So what are we saying? First one of 20 wins? Not 20 wins, like 20 points wins.
No, it'll be probably like 27-20, something like that.
Not the defense. I was thinking defensive struggle, like 17-14. Julia, as a you have an affinity for California. Your family's from there. You've been up there a lot. You have what, family in the Bay Area?
Some, yeah.
Yeah. So you watch the Niners with a very keen eye. Do you like the Cardinals' chances this week?
I think they do well in San Francisco. Last time I was there, they won.
Right. And you're going. Yes. Yeah.
So I really do think that when it comes to the divisional games, they just bring it up a few notches. But this is also on Kyler too. Like, let's see if he can actually, make those plays that he needs to make and not make, those decisions that we're like scratching your head. Like, why did he do that?
Well, it's last year in San Francisco, he had the run, and then he held up the number 1 finger. And I feel like that kind of derailed the whole Niners season, was when they got beat at home by the Cardinals. And to your point, Matt, about Cleveland and Green Bay, I think there is something to familiarity with a team feeling comfortable in winning places. Like the Cardinals used to go to Seattle and kind of had their number for a little bit.
Yeah.
Objectively, as somebody who, is looking at this as a journalist, do you like the Cardinals' chances?
I think they'll do better than maybe you would expect with Purdy in there. I think them having the 49ers offense being as beat up as it is going to help the Cardinals a lot. And they have played well in San Francisco the last few years. Obviously, they have a chance. It'll be a much better test for them, I think, than the Saints and Panthers have been. But I think it would still come with a little bit of an asterisk of like, all right, the 49ers, they're beat up. Curious to see how they'll do Thursday next week with the Seahawks coming in here on a short week.
And it's a home game. So, I mean, I don't expect it, but I think there's a very good possibility here the Cardinals could start 4-0 with a beat-up Niners team.
Yeah.
And the Seahawks on the road, which would be tremendous for this division.
That doesn't sound like unreasonable to me at all either.
Having watched
them doing that.
Having watched the Seahawks, they are going to annihilate the Cardinals front. Like that front seven of theirs, their defensive line are monsters.
Seattle's defense is really
and Christian McCaffrey scored like 6 touchdowns against the Cardinals last time he was healthy in 2 games.
That's another thing, though. We need to see the Cardinals run offense, like actually do something. Like I want to see James Conner at the rock more and just like busting through guys, and even Trey Benson giving him some action back there too. And I want to see the O-line, doing their job and creating holes.
And I would imagine you'll see that on Thursday night. That typically is, a big night to just run. I mean, I would almost say Trey Benson maybe doesn't carry the ball as much in San Francisco if he's not needed. And then, then you open it up on Thursday night. Do you put a Will Hernandez back in the lineup by then? I mean, you talked to him, so tell us about that conversation and if you feel like he's ready to start.
Well, so we didn't talk much about his injury, but it looks like he's trending in the right direction. I think that there is a chance that he could be ready either in the next couple weeks.
Was he brought in to be a starter or as depth for the line? My take was that he's there to be depth.
So Monty Ossenfort said before the season that the reason we didn't put him on the IR for a reason. I don't know what that reason is. If you were Monty Ossenfort, what would be that reason?
I mean, that he could come back in 4 weeks.
And how well Jonah Williams does.
Yeah.
The first couple games.
But if you have him and Beachum as like the backups, and you kind of know you're going to lose an offensive lineman. I don't mean to be morbid, but
that's decent depth. I don't think they're going to put him in the lineup if they have a healthy guy ahead of him.
Yeah.
But if someone goes down, they can be confident in the backup that goes in for them.
Yeah. I just think, running the ball, you'd like to see Connor get going. I mean, it just hasn't. Yeah. Maybe because they haven't needed to. I don't know. It just seemed like Kyler was kind of playing the whole dink and dunk down the field and then hit him big when he needed to.
Yeah. In the running game, the big holes haven't really been there. Like the yards they've gotten, Connor's had to work hard for them.
Right.
And Trey Benson's big run. I mean,
that was Michael Wilson's block that helped him.
That was and he had a good broken tackle on that play too. But I haven't seen the holes in the rushing game that they probably would like to have so far.
Was it because like Will and his tacos?
He's a big boy.
Yes. How many tacos did you eat on that story?
3.
3. How many did he eat?
Oh, I didn't count.
Yes. And give us a tease of when we can see this and kind of what it's all about.
Yeah. So it's for Hispanic Heritage Month. He grew up in Nevada, but he now has a taco truck and he has Mijo Things, which is a whole brand. He was very excited to talk about that. And he actually had his taco truck from El Paso make the trip here to feed a high school football team.
That's cool.
Yeah. Cesar Chavez high school football team. And he had an offensive line taco eating contest, like the starting line just competing against each other. So we were right there, 6 minutes, most tacos. And it was a lot of fun. And he just had a blast, like just being able to talk to the kids and give them, just tell his story about how he grew up. And it wasn't easy for him. So
and without giving away the whole story about him growing up, it's a pretty special story. It's a pretty, great story about where he came from and where he is now.
Perseverance, adversity, getting through the hard times with his family.
Yeah. All right. So stick around for that. That's coming up on our platforms here. And maybe we'll talk more about it in group chat. Should we move on to Arizona State? If we put a good amount of time into the Cardinals, do we want predictions or do we feel like could go either way?
I feel like we need to know these injuries.
Yeah.
Before actually making decent predictions.
Yeah. And I think that's going to be Wednesday or maybe the Schefter bomb. Yeah.
Wednesday will be the first injury report.
Yeah.
But Thursday's usually the most telling day.
Right. Yeah. And if you're missing two key contributors in the secondary, it's going to be tough. So if we're back here talking about the 3-0 Cardinals next week, I think you kind of have to start saying, okay, they might not be perfect, but they know how to win football games. And that's, I feel like, what this staff knows how to do better than anything is put your team in position to win.
Starting 1-0 in a division is a good way to go.
Right. Well, Arizona State bouncing back over the weekend. It was against Texas State, but Kenny Dillingham is good at kind of steering the narrative and getting and rallying the troops and circling the wagons. They did just that on Saturday night. From his news conference today, seemed kind of all business. They're going on the road to Baylor this week. In watching back the Arizona State game, and tell me your thoughts here. I thought they looked better. I still don't feel confident that they are ready to win the Big 12 right now, but I kind of feel like this is where they were last year. And they just kept getting better.
I'll say Jordan Tyson's the real deal. It
Yeah.
is so much fun watching him and like the plays that he makes. I don't know if you guys saw what Joe, what touchdown was that when he like hurtled over a dude and got in?
The jump pass.
Yeah, that was
the
first
second?
one. Second touchdown in the game, I
I
believe.
thought did it make it 10-3? I watched it back this morning. Maybe I didn't.
Oh, maybe it was 10-3.
Yeah. And by the way, John Gustafson, our crack sports photographer, nailed that one. You can see the look on his face. It's pretty sweet.
When doesn't he? I'm more
Wait,
surprised.
I don't
when
think
Gus
it was
doesn't.
him. I think it was
Oh,
Elliot.
did he come back? Oh, then
It was
Elliot nailed it. Yes, our crack sports photographer, Elliot Polikoff. Gus did Gus come back?
Yeah.
Should we talk about Gus? We should do a whole podcast on Gus, by the way.
He needs to join us
He
one of
needs
these
to
days.
and interview Gus all about all of his adventures
Has
throughout the
Gus
world.
ever listened to a podcast?
No, but he listens to records. Like he's
Yeah.
probably at home right now listening to like what record if you were Gus on a Monday night for Monday Night Football as we're taping this.
Led Zeppelin.
He's probably listening.
Rolling Stones.
Yes.
Some type of
Rolling
rock and roll.
Stones.
Yeah. And it's just the record because it's got to sound just right on the vinyl. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty modern nowadays. Records
Yeah, I guess
far
you're right.
outsell CDs.
Yeah. Well, I should have kept my parents' record player. All right. So Sam Levitt, probably the Heisman thing is gone unless they run the table in the Big 12, but it's Mississippi State.
Even though there's too many more people in the country that'll garner.
No, for sure. But the jump pass was jaw dropping, and I think outrageous was the word used in the telecast. Plain Frogger was the used.
I mean, jump passes won Tim Tebow a Heisman.
Yeah. And it won him a national championship out here. The 3 plays that he played when Florida beat Ohio State. Is it something? I mean, with him and Tyson, is this a duo that? I mean, they go to Baylor this week. Baylor's defense isn't that good. Do we expect them to be victorious in Waco?
I think Tyson's doing the heavier lifting in that duo.
Yeah.
Who knows? I haven't really watched much of Baylor this year. I don't know what to expect out of them.
Well, Levitt's weird because he's like almost always on target with Tyson, but he's more on target with Tyson than like the other receivers. McLean, he can't hit. Like McLean will run wide open, and it's either short or high.
Chemistry's real, man.
He had Hamilton streaking down the sidelines for a long bomb, and it went right through his hands. And that's probably just not getting enough play time.
I think it's nerves. I think it's just like if you're thinking too hard about it and you're like, this is my chance. No.
Too wide open, thinking about the dance.
Right.
I think
I'd be
that's a big part of why I say Tyson is doing the heavy lifting out of that duo. I think he makes up for a lot of Levitt's shortcomings when he's throwing to him that other receivers may not have the abilities to do, at least at this point.
Is he the best wide receiver right now in college football? So here are your other candidates.
I think that's impossible to answer.
Yes, I agree. But okay, of all the guys that have 20 receptions and over 3 touchdowns, we saw Jace Brown against Arizona for Kansas State on Friday night. He was dynamic. He scored. He was all over the field. Of course, the Wildcats won. They're
when Avery Johnson could get out of his own way.
Right, but
he scored on a direct snap run because Avery couldn't hit him for anything.
Okay.
That is dynamic.
Yeah, no, he's dynamic. I mean, Jordan Tyson has 24 receptions, which the leader in receptions has 29 for the season. Jordan Tyson has 4 touchdowns. The leader is 5. Jordan Tyson's averaging 13 yards a pop, which other than a couple guys that have like 3 catches, I mean, you got Mario Craver actually at Texas A&M. He's got 20 catches, 4 touchdowns, and he's averaging 22 yards a pop. So statistically, he's probably better. The Aggies just went into Notre Dame and got a victory. And
that includes a Mississippi State game where the passing game was almost non-existent.
Right.
Well, our friend Brad Denny had it broken down. He's first in the Big 12 with receiving yards, receptions per game, receiving touchdowns, and then catches for first downs. And that's also leads all of FBS with 16 catches for first downs.
And that's a guy making plays and moving the chains.
Out of how many catches did you say he has total?
24, I think.
24.
19 have been for first downs.
16.
I mean, that's
awesome.
impact. That's not like little bubble screens. But I tell you what, Chris Brazell from Tennessee, did you see the catch that he made in the Georgia? I mean, it was the Georgia game. We had a couple great games this week. We had Dallas and the New York Giants, and then Tennessee and Georgia was great. I thought he made not a catch of the year, but a fantastic catch. But I think Tyson's right there. I mean, it's not. If you're trying to answer the impossible question, I think you could say Jordan Tyson, and no one can really argue with you once you see the stat about the first downs.
He's must see.
He'll be a first round pick in April.
Yeah.
Isn't he listed as like top 2 by the NFL analysts?
So I was talking to a scout friend, and he said he had him in the second round, but that was just because he needed to see what he would do. So I have not checked back, but I would imagine.
I
think we throw these stats.
I think Mel Kiper has him as the first receiver taken.
Wow.
And
Mel Kiper's never been wrong.
He's eligible where Jamari Smith isn't.
Can we get Mel Kiper on here next week so
Todd
can have that conversation with him? All right. Okay. So what about Rayleigh Brown? He's awesome.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're not going to replace Cam Scattaboo, who was doing Scattaboo things and he's about to set the Big Apple on fire. His teammates love him, and that was awesome seeing him score in the Dallas game. But the Sun Devils have depth at running back with Kwame Udo and Rayleigh Brown. And then Kyson Brown has the ankle that gives him a little more time. He's super explosive. They have some weapons, and I think that's a reason to think, okay, I think they can run with people. Do we think their offense, if the trend continues from last year, that they just keep getting better and better, that this is an offense that, if you're a defensive coordinator, how scared are you to play this team? If you're Baylor, say.
I mean, Brown's been so good. He's averaging 8.3 yards a carry.
Is it really?
Yeah, on 35 carries. I mean, that's not nothing. Especially against in that Mississippi State game, he and Udo were really good in the second half. But I mean, you'd think if you have a running game that good, it's just going to make your passing game better.
Well, and I think including Mateer, this game was great. And then Sam's legs, I think Sam's more athletic than he was last year. He's faster. He did some spin moves. And even though they got on camera, the Texas State coach just being like, your quarterback's unbelievable.
Is that GJ Kinney? He was a pretty good quarterback. He was Todd Graham's quarterback back in the day at Tulsa. GJ. Yeah, from North Texas.
It's not a normal initial.
Yeah.
No.
You never really heard that before.
So I like that. And then
Waxahachie. Is he from Waxahachie? I'm gonna have to look that up. Go ahead.
I think another receiver getting involved, whether it's Moss or Hamilton, will be huge. But I saw the improvement I wanted to see with the offense for sure. And Rayleigh is awesome. He's doing stuff that is just insane out there.
It's kind of like the Cardinals. I mean, their best games have come against NAU and Texas State, two teams that you don't really think of as testing their true level. So Baylor, I think, will be
for sure
their first true test.
Well, then you got Baylor, then you got TCU on Friday. TCU, I would be scared about that game, but it's a short week and it's after they play SMU, and that's an emotional rivalry. They're going to beat each other up. I think there's a good chance that ASU can win the next two games. But TCU is pretty talented. But then you have a week off to prepare for Utah. Give me a week off. And Kenny Dillingham, I think he can beat people, but Utah's kind of a monster. And then you've got Texas Tech. What do we think about the next four games? Could the Sun Devils run the table here and we all be talking about, hey, we're get ready to go back to the playoff?
Sure, they could.
Yes.
I have no idea if that's what's going to happen.
It's hard to like predict that, but
this is some real insight.
Yeah,
right
I know.
Yes.
But I will say, like, Rayleigh Brown, like, is like we were talking about, like a complete monster out there. Like the big playability.
Yeah.
If he's able to like take that to like these next few games, I'm excited to see it.
Right. If you have two big play guys, a big play quarterback, I like your chances. Joe, next four games, will you be disappointed if the Sun Devils are not 4-0 in the next four games?
I won't be disappointed, but I think it's a tall task, but I don't think nothing I've seen in the Big 12 has said, oh my God, this team's going to be dominant. ASU is a play away from being 3-0 and probably still in the top 10, but for some reason they lost and voters just kept voting them out. So it is what it is in terms of that. And it's a big road test in Waco, somewhere we haven't been. these guys haven't been, but it is Texas to Tempe. So why not?
And it's a fun stadium. It's a good atmosphere.
Kenny was very complimentary of Dave Aranda, Baylor head coach today too, and his defensive scheming. So we'll see if they can match it.
But I think Baylor's defense is the scheming's there, but the playmaking's not. So first one to 45 wins. That's gonna be my prediction. Run that back next week. GJ Kenny's from Mesquite, by the way. All right, so on to the story that nobody saw coming. I don't know. Did one of y'all see this coming? The Arizona Diamondbacks pulling back into Chase Field on Sunday night from Minnesota, 2 games out of a playoff spot. I mean, we kind of like put them where have they been in the show? Average. They've been like near the
top of the B block.
Yeah,
jumping up to the bottom of the A if they've had a fun win.
And we're like, all right, 45 seconds, good, But I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's the Mets losing, and I know that you watch the Mets a lot. Well, they're on a lot.
I say they're on in my house.
So what have you made of the Mets?
I mean, it's the story of the Mets. It's what they do.
Yeah.
The D-backs are, I think, in this position more because of the Mets than because of themselves. It's the opportunity's there, but they're not the only team that has the opportunity either.
I mean, if you look back at the 2023 World Series when they lost 4 straight, what was it at the end of the season? They lose 4 straight, and they still got in the playoffs, and then they went on their magical run. It's just crazy how baseball works. Julia, you've been down there a lot. This bullpen,
it's almost like I don't understand. You can play 162 games, and it still means absolutely nothing. What's the point?
You go watch people exercise, and you drink a beer and turn off your
baseball
phone
exercise
and stare at them.
Mostly standing around.
Yeah, the guy runs after the ball. And you're like, he's gonna get it? No. All right, I'm gonna drink my beer and then maybe place a bet. Is this something that you're believing in? Is this something that could happen, that we could be talking about postseason baseball?
Currently, I'm believing more.
Yeah.
Asked me like a week ago. No, I was not a believer at all. And I keep saying this, like, I'm usually like the most optimistic person when it comes to, just like looking on like the bright side of things. But I don't know if that bullpen has what it takes. I don't think it has like the horses to, make a run, but they could prove me wrong. They could prove all of us wrong.
I mean, Saul Frank has a devastating breaking ball. He just can't pitch every time they open the door. Woodford throws hard, but he struggled on Friday night, but he has bounced back. It's just, I mean, I don't think I could, if you brought all of the D-backs members of the bullpen in here and lined them up, I don't know that I could name them all. Like, that's what makes this kind of hilarious and awesome.
They just recalled Juan Murillo.
Right. I can name him. Yes.
Yeah, he's back.
He throws really hard.
Yeah.
Just sometimes it's not in the strike zone.
Yeah.
But I'm here for a guy who throws 97. I think it's funny how baseball works, and like the whole, if you go back to the movie The Natural, losing is a disease that sort of just takes over. But it's the same way with winning. Like, once a little bit of momentum starts, it's like a wildfire. It's like a spark, and then all of a sudden
you have that carrot on the stick again, that little glimmer of hope that can just spark something inside of you. But it's not just on them either. They need other things outside of their control to break their way too.
Yeah.
Which is possible.
Yeah.
But
then you look at their schedule, like Giants, if they win this series, whoever wins this series wins that tiebreaker, right?
Yeah.
And then they got Philly, Dodgers,
all at home, by the way.
Padres. And I mean, these are, or do they put the Brewers in there too? Or that's
it's the Padres at the end of the
Dodgers,
season.
Padres. Yep.
Yeah.
Those are all teams fighting for something too. So I think that puts a little doubt in it. The Mets are still 80% to clinch the wild card, so it's still on them to keep failing, which is also tough to do. But they're playing the Padres this week too.
So if the Mets keep failing, well, the Padres are already in a spot, aren't they?
They are, but they're 2.5 out of the division, so they're fighting for the division from the Dodgers.
But Mark, you were out there. You were talking to Blaze Alexander.
Yeah.
I love the way that he plays. I love like the passion that he brings. You talked to him like yesterday. Just what was his mentality? Like, what was his mindset when you were talking to him?
He was just asking fans to come out and be a part of this, because the lift that they get. And I mean, you think about, he struggled when he first came up. He kind of struggled to find his way. He looked like he was maybe just trying a little too hard. And the fact that he has been able to kind of settle in, you're seeing an incredible athlete. You're seeing a dude who performs under pressure. In a big hit on Sunday, and I think you found either your third baseman or your center fielder or your left fielder.
Crazy.
You can play him a bunch of different places. But he was thankful we were there. And then he was like, yeah, can we get some people out here, please? And I don't know if that's going to resonate with the Valley as much, because I feel like people are back in school and they kind of maybe wrote off the Diamondbacks. But I think if they are able to catch the Giants and things really get interesting over the next couple of days, I think this is going to be a really fun story. Now, Geraldo Perdomo was great too, but I think he had just woken up. So they asked him to do the interview, and he's like, yes, but his eyes were closed most of the time. So, but it was really cool. We were there as the buses pulled in the Chase Field, and you could just tell they got back. And it almost felt like a high school team getting back and having, the media waiting.
They are
for
young.
Yeah.
They're a young group.
For sure. But yeah, I don't love Philly, LA, San Diego, but then again, why not just make this outrageous?
Tough stretch to finish.
Let's have no expectations.
They haven't been consistent all year.
Right.
Winning.
Yeah.
Even
they haven't shown it.
3-3.
In 2023, they showed it.
Yeah.
They haven't this year at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I would think that this would be over by next Monday. But there's an off day next Monday. So okay, on the group chat next Monday, are we still talking about the Diamondbacks?
I mean, we'll still talk about whatever happened in the past week.
Yeah, they'll be on the rundown.
Yeah.
It's great insight. Are we still talking about the Diamondbacks in the way that they are they still going to have the town talking? Are they still going to be in this thing? Or is it going to be like, all right, that was fun for a couple days?
Well, I hope it goes into playoff baseball, because over here, it's just crazy once people actually do buy in and want to see them do well.
Yeah.
So, but if they make it to the playoffs,
I'm like, well, I wouldn't like their chances, but man, I mean, stranger things. It's just fun. We're here for a fun story because of all the expectations that seem to bring teams down. When you get a fun story like this, you got to write it. Yeah. So, all right, Mercury. We had some expectations. They had home court advantage, and then things got a little
right now.
Right, and I think in watching that game yesterday, this is a very evenly matched series. It could go either way. I'm not as confident about them going to New York and getting a victory now. But is Brianna Stewart going to play? I think that's.
I think Stewart is the linchpin in all of that. If she plays, my expectations of them getting a win are much, much lower. If she does play, what I see today, this year, New York is undefeated when they've had Ionescu, Jonquel Jones, and Brianna Stewart all playing together. But that's only been 13 games. This year. Jones and Stewart both missed 13 games during the season. So without her, their chances of coming back to Phoenix are so much better, which isn't really that crazy. Anybody who's watched New York knows that. That's going to make a huge difference. The fact that she apparently got an MRI on her knee today probably doesn't mean she's in a good spot to play on Wednesday.
Do we think we're going to get Cardinals injury news before Brianna Stewart news? What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
That's going to be.
Yeah. Cardinals
Wednesday.
Injury report will be Wednesday morning.
Yes.
I bet Stewart will probably go up to pretty close.
She's going to go warm up.
Close to
she's going to try to go.
They're going to see how she feels.
5
o'clock.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Our time.
Joe?
I didn't watch the game. Unfortunately, I did see it. A team missed the bucket at the end, which looked pretty makeable. Unfortunately, but you take a team to overtime, and anything can happen in overtime in basketball. But now you got to see where you're at. You got two. You got to win 2 for 2, and now you got to fly to New York, win, and then fly back here and win to move on to get to play Minnesota.
It's
yay. Congratulations.
I guess the Mercury got a little bit screwed with reaching the playoffs, and only to draw New York in the first round because they've dealt with injuries all year, and then they get a healthy team right away. Sucks for the Mercury to get that. That's generally not, if you get the 4 seed, the type of opponent you have to go up against.
The defending champs.
Defending champions who have unreal amounts of experience in this. I mean, all the way down to their coach.
Well, and there's familiar faces too, like the coach and then Natasha Cloud.
Yeah. Well, and with Alyssa Thomas, it's equal parts. Like, I'm never surprised by something she does, but I'm also I don't really trust her shot. Yeah. Like, you want her to have the ball, but she's not a great shooter. She's the strangest thing.
Scorer. Her scoring isn't what makes her great.
Yeah.
Everything else is what she does. And there's even been times where she's been at the free throw line, and I've been surprised at some of the misses.
Well, and it's almost as if she was too open for that layup. Like, she needs a body in front of her to get the contact and get in one.
She likes that contact.
And she spun, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, I'm at the rim," and she smoked it.
Right. But I mean, she's fun. It's been a fun year. I hope it doesn't come to a conclusion. I do want a game on Friday night,
I would
as
like
much
to
as it
see
might
a deep run.
mess
But
up our varsity zone schedule, which is fine.
even if they advance, they get what? Probably Minnesota then in the second round.
If it's all chalk, which it should be, with Minnesota crush, all the
Yeah.
3 teams ahead of them crushed the other teams.
Yeah.
Minnesota, Vegas, and who's the 3rd seed?
Definitely not Connecticut. Let's just start naming teams. Is it
Atlanta?
Yeah. In which Atlanta has, that's been a tough one too. But I feel like with Minnesota, even though it hasn't gone their way most of the year, those games have been close. They've come down to like one shot. So that could be a fun series, but they got to win 2.
So is it safe to say that if Stewie is playing, that's done for?
Maybe she
would
plays
say-
and she's can't move as much though. That's the only thing.
That
Yeah.
could be. I
Yeah.
mean, if she's well enough to play, it certainly is going to be much tougher for them, for the Mercury.
Is
to
she
come
motivated?
back.
Is she motivated to play so they don't have to fly again and
Mm.
can get a little rest too? Like just be out there as a little factor.
Right.
I don't
Because
know.
you'd have to go probably right to Minnesota after that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we wrap this thing up and I get set to go drive the carpool, GJ Kenny, Mesquite, Texas, Joe, by the way. So just in case you're wondering my Texas high school sports knowledge.
Yeah.
We do this a lot. Many people find it entertaining. Many people like me and Joe. It's a fun thing with ASU going to Texas this week that I can tell you a little bit about every town in Texas, or I could 20 years ago.
How many games does ASU play in Texas this year?
So the Texas Tech game is here, and the Houston game is here, right?
Or say,
Yeah.
how many Texas teams do they play this year?
I think it's 5 of the next 6 games,
Jeez.
including
Jeez.
Texas State.
TCU's
Yeah.
here. Is Houston that Houston's there?
Houston's here.
So it's most of them are here. So like next
Oh, so
year's.
it's-
So Baylor,
we spend a lot of time in Texas next year.
we're going to have to get old Chad Votherine on the show here, the
Yeah.
old sports intern. We got him a job down in Waco. He's crushing it down there. Yeah, you go TCU's here, Texas Tech's here, Houston's here. The road trips are Iowa State, Colorado, and
Utah.
yeah. So
That's not so bad.
yeah. All right. Well, I think that about does it unless we want to play the game.
Yeah, let's name a couple.
Okay, let's do it.
So
What game?
I don't know this game.
So Mark and I figured out this thing where Mark knows almost someone or something that happened in every city in Texas.
Took Texas history in the 7th grade.
And
Yeah.
it does happen to where there's new towns, but generally he knows someone or something that happened in a Texas city. So
Right.
I go through the Baylor roster and just name some cities. So
Right.
how about Katy, Texas?
Oh, Katy was District 16-5A in 1992-93. Bill Yachtslaw made a run at the Texas state record in rushing. They were in our district. Cy Creek hammered Katy as the news was out there, and they did a whole. Actually, my brother got interviewed in that news package. That's probably a big reason why I'm doing this for a living, because we hammered Katy. And that year on the JV, we also went to Katy and hammered Katy. But Katy is a powerhouse, and that's where Andy Dalton was the quarterback.
Hmm.
How about DeSoto?
So DeSoto's outside of Dallas, and good basketball school. They have a lot of good athletes out there. Not one does not come to mind offhand. Maybe Chris Bosch. He might have been in Dallas more, but yeah, DeSoto's produced a lot of athletes in that Texas to Tempe connection.
Franklin.
Oh, Franklin, Texas. Is that in East Texas? Yeah, I don't know. Stumped me.
There's one.
Yeah.
Denton, Texas.
Oh, Denton is the home of the North Texas Mean Green Eagles. So Mean Joe Green played his high school or his college football, and he also played basketball in a really small uniform there. And then he went on to anchor the steel curtain of the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line. And they were the Eagles, but then they became the Mean Green. So Todd Dodge was a coach up there before he went to Westlake. He and his son Riley Dodge. He was the coach at North Texas, and Riley was his quarterback. And then now they're both coaching back in the Metroplex outside of Dallas.
Or how about Comanche?
Oh, Comanche. I don't know. That's like out in West Texas, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but yeah, it was. I think a Comanche territory at some point. We're gonna have to look that one up. Franklin and Comanche. You stumped me.
Red Oak.
Don't know Red Oak.
That might
Yeah.
be new. Sounds new.
Yeah.
Lubbock.
Oh yeah, Lubbock. It's if you ever go to Lubbock, just be prepared for dust in your eyes and your mouth, it's a fun town, but it was a dry county forever. So you would go up there for the Texas Tech game, and you would be like, well, can we go get some beer? And they're like, well, no. They don't. You have to drive outside, like say this was Lubbock, this is the county line, and you get outside of Lubbock, and it looked like Las Vegas, and it was all these places that sold beer.
All right, let's do 3 more here.
Yeah.
Little Elm.
Don't know Little Elm.
Sounds new.
Yeah.
Is it Lil Elm or
Little?
Little?
Little Elm.
That's another one. Yeah.
Little. Koppel.
Oh, Coppell. Yeah, that's
Coppell.
outside. That's outside of Dallas. That's near the airport. Yeah, a lot of good high school football there. Montgomery. So that's just north of where I went to high school. A lot of people have moved up to Montgomery. I think Big Adam Dunn lives up there. Maybe he's out. Maybe he's in the Woodlands or Conroe. But yeah, Montgomery. He's got some good high school football. Some good country boys up there that hit you hard.
This sounds like a new one. Trophy Club.
Yeah, that's outside of Dallas. Yeah. All these little towns popped up outside of Dallas. I used to live in Plano as a kid, which is outside of Dallas, which is like a Gilbert of Dallas. And now there's like 20 of those because everybody moved up there and went to work for like Toyota or whoever moved up there.
Well, would you know his high school? Byron Nelson High School.
Oh, yeah. Byron Nelson High School. Yeah, because it's a Byron Nelson. Yeah, the golfers from there, they have the Byron Nelson Classic every year. Matt looks really entertained by this conversation.
I'm still thinking about Lil Elm. And I like the idea of naming a town like that.
All right, one more. Pearland, Texas. Shadow Creek.
Pearland. Yeah, home of the Oilers. Yeah. Keith Jenkins, our tailback and linebacker, my senior high school, came over from Pearland. I still don't know how that guy didn't play college football, but it was either Pearland or what was the one with Wanda Holloway and the Texas cheerleaders? Channelview. It was one of those two. We were playing high school baseball, and I went into the right field corner to get a ball in warm-ups, and I was wearing metal spikes, and I slid across. All of a sudden, I hit concrete or like blacktop, and I'm like, I'm in fair territory. What? The entrance to the football stadium was in fair territory at right field, and I was on a dead sprint and just went, and people were like, there were sparks under your feet. It was like, okay, ball goes over there, we're walking.
Jeez.
That's cool.
That's dangerous.
Is Pearland like Dateland, or it's just pear trees all over?
That's a good question. I don't remember. I think it's just like maybe at some point it was Pearland. There's also Sugarland.
I've heard of Sugarland.
Yeah.
I bet they grew a lot of sugar there.
Yeah. A lot of high schools. There's a road that goes to like Galveston, and it's just like high schools, and coaches just joke that you can go down that road and find starters on your line. Like there's just about 15 high schools you can hit up.
Pull them off the farm.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a fun game. Me and Mark have played over
fun.
the years. He just knows every town in Texas except the brand new ones.
Yeah. Lil Elm. All right. I'm going to do some research there. All right. Well, I think we've accomplished a lot. Packers. I said go Packers this week, and we'll be back here next week to discuss more in the group chat. We'll see you then.
This is The Extra Point, an Arizona's Family Originals podcast, sponsored by your Phoenix Suns.